Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ CHAIM. Who exactly are you allowed to, if you're allowed to say Lashon Hara about anyone? V'da, you should know, the Isser Sipur Lashon Hara Afila Al Ha'aretz. Speaking Lashon Hara applies even to talking about an Am Ha'aretz, a very ignorant person who doesn't really know the halachas in the Torah so well. Ki gam hu bichlal am Hashem. He is also included in the nation of Hashem. He was one of the people taken out of Mitzrayim as well. He went free with the rest of Klal Yisrael. He's an Am Ha'aretz. He doesn't know everything. Says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, doesn't matter if he's a Yid. He's a Jew that falls in the category of a religious Jew who is keeping Torah and mitzvahs, and therefore he's part of the nation of Klal Yisrael. You can't say Lashon Hara. The kol shekain, all the more so Talmid Chacham. If the person you're speaking Lashon Hara about is a Talmid Chacham, a Torah scholar, certainly the person who speaks Lashon Hara about him, his sin is very great. Chazal teach us, anyone who disparages the memory of a Talmid Chacham, a Torah scholar, noifel begehenim, you know where he's going to fall? Down there into Gehenim. Shenemar, like it says in a pasuk, it's bad news for such a person who speaks despairingly about a Talmid Chacham. The kama pa'amim nichnas al yidei zeh b'chal mevaz Talmid Chacham, and additionally, very often when you speak Lashon Hara, you fall into the category of someone who shames Talmid Chachamim. There's a terrible punishment that will come to a person who disgraces Talmid Chachamim. Kedisa b'chelik, like it says in the Gemara, v'nifsa came with Yehudeya. We find it in the Shulchan Aruch like this as well. Shu bichlal ki devar Hashem baza. He's included in the category of the word of Hashem. He has disgraced. He kares tikares hanefesh. This person will be cut off as a result. Bad idea to insult Talmid Chachamim, to speak Lashon Hara about them, and to disparage them publicly. It's a total disgrace, and the person who says it will pay himself. Hayetzer hara mesis ladam. However, the Yetzer Hara comes to a person in this world and tries to convince him. You think the way that it was in the times of the Gemara to disgrace Talmid Chachamim of that stature applies in our generation? They were much greater in the times of the Gemara. So if you would disgrace them, that was a terrible sin. But the rabbis in our generation, they're not even close. And therefore, if you are mevaza, you shame them, it's not the worst thing in the world. But this is a grave error. They call Talmid Chacham Ulefiyador. Every Talmid Chacham goes according to his generation. Even in our times. Imurak roy lohirois. He's only qualified to issue halachic rulings. V'yageya b'Torah, but he toils in Torah. Nikra Talmid Chacham. He's called a Torah scholar, and you are not allowed to disgrace him. If you do disgrace such a scholar, even with just words, even not in front of him, so he's not embarrassed, you committed a grave sin. You really deserve to be excommunicated, like we find in the Shulchan Aruch. The kol shekain, all the more so if the sage that you're talking about is the leading halachic authority of the city, it's a much greater sin for a person who ends up debasing him. Why? First of all, as we said before, you're obligated to look at him as a Talmid Chacham, a Torah scholar. You have to give him the proper honor. Since that you who live in that town, you yourself rely upon his halachic rulings, and while you are speaking badly about this Rav, you're going to hold back the people of that town from serving Hashem properly. Everybody else will say when they hear all these words about Lashon Hara, about their Rav, why should we go to the Rav and ask him to solve the problems between us, the Torah law and the like? He's not going to be qualified enough to mediate between us. He's not really such a big Talmid Chacham. And as a result of this, everyone's going to do whatever they want, and they're not going to go to the Rav, and it's all your fault because you were mevazeh him, you embarrassed him and spoke badly about him. And unfortunately, there are many, many other things that can happen. Hashem Yishmarenu, HaKadosh Baruch should protect us and have mercy on us from doing such things. Therefore, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM, be so careful whether the person is Horowitz, ignorant, you can't say Lashon Hara, and of course, all the more so for a Talmid Chacham, you can't say a word of Lashon Hara, shame him and embarrass him. You're destroying his reputation, you're destroying the way he's going to look in the eyes of other people. People are not going to listen to him, and then it's going to be a free-for-all, and who could imagine the amount of sins that are going to accrue because of the words of Lashon Hara that you spoke. Have a wonderful day.